It's Retro Podcast with your host, Retro Lion. We talk music, entertainment, films, and more. And now, here he is, live, Retro Lion. Welcome back to Retro Podcast. I am the host, Retro Lion, and today we have Yuliya, and she is a web designer, and she is here to tell us her story. So, Yuliya, welcome to Retro Podcast.
Thank you so much.
And what part of Bali are you in?
Well, currently I'm in Seminyak. It's the place between Canggu and Kuta. So yeah, like before I was living in Ubud for almost like 5 months, I guess. And a few months ago, yeah, I moved to Seminyak.
Nice. And you're a web designer, is that correct?
Web designer and Instagram promoter.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what was the biggest inspiration for becoming a web designer?
Well, actually, I was doing so much things as long as I remember myself. Always, well, it starts from the modeling when I was in the middle school. Then I went to study in China. I was living in China for 10 years. So there, but actually, I was getting my bachelor, but it was totally different thing. It was international economy and trade. So then I graduated, then it was pandemic. And the moment when it was pandemic, I started drawing on the walls, all the like walls decoration and stuff. And before that, I remember when I was, I don't know, when I was a kid, even before the school, I was like my grandma sent me to the art school, so I was like just drawing some portraits and stuff. But it was like hell a long time ago, and since then I've never drawn. And so like pandemic, then I'm coming back to Kazakhstan, and I decided I want to be a graphic designer. So I get myself an iPad with the pencil and stuff, and I started drawing. It's like, okay, that's not bad because actually, back then I was just drawing on the paper, and so many people were asking me like, "Are you making the graphic designs?" And like, no, because it's gonna be stupid if I'm drawing on the paper. Then I gotta just like scan it. The quality is bad. The colors are not the same. So, and then I was like, okay, I have to get myself an iPad. I'm getting myself an iPad, and like maybe for a year or so. So I was drawing illustrations, and then I figure out like I need to be something more. Yeah, and I started like learning the web design.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for now I am here.
Well done. And for your web design, do you use Adobe?
I use, like, you mean for the graphic illustrations?
Mm-hmm.
Procreate.
Oh, you use Procreate.
Yeah.
For my illustrations, I use Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrate, and then for creating the books, I use Adobe InDesign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard, but back then, like with I don't know, I don't know why actually, but maybe I found something about the Procreate, and now like they made a Procreate Fly, I guess, or there's Adobe Fly, something like this, like where you can make the animations in the Procreate.
Yeah,
So it's actually cool.
you could do animations in Photoshop too. I just discovered that you could do Japanese anime animation.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is funny because producing a short film, actually four animated short films, and the three are done in Japanese anime.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so when you were telling me that you were from Bali, the first thing that came to my mind was the movie that George Clooney and Julia Roberts did 2 years ago, Ticket to Paradise, which takes place in Bali. Have you seen that movie by any chance?
No, I've never heard of it, by the way.
What?
Actually, like just now, yes, I thought like you're gonna say Eat, Pray, or like what is the with the Julia Roberts?
Ticket to Paradise.
No, no, there is
Never heard that
another one.
movie.
No.
Okay, it came out a couple years ago, and it's about George Clooney and Julia Roberts. They're both divorced in the movie, and their daughter
Yeah.
just graduated college. She goes to Bali for a vacation. She meets the guy in Bali. She's get ready to marry this guy she doesn't know very well, and so George Clooney and Julia Roberts fly to Bali to stop the wedding, and it becomes like it. It's a really funny movie. It's very
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
The two actors, like you could tell they're friends in real life, and so the bonding that they share off screen, the bonding they share on screen, even though they're playing characters, it fits perfect. And I remember going to see it with my parents, my brother, and I was the only person in the theater laughing. And I look around and I'm like, does no one find this funny?
Wow. No, actually, I've never heard of it, but I will check it out. The only one movie I know about the Bali, it was also with the Julia Roberts, uh, uh, like Eat, Love, and Pray, something like this, or I don't know, like some, like some medication thing, I guess. Even like now, if you check on the Airbnb, there is a house, like they even wrote it, like here is was the theme from this movie. I guess it was Eat, Pray, and Love or something, whatever. So yeah, it was super famous. It was super famous. That's the only movie I know, like it was made in Bali. So yeah,
Yeah, she's had a lot
but
of
I will
famous
check it
movies. It's difficult to keep track which one is which.
out. But yeah, but seems like she loves Bali. It's like it's already the second movie,
Mhm.
just like in here. Nice.
And for people that want to go into graphic design, what's the best advice you would pass on to them?
Um, well, yesterday, by chance, I met with a girl, and we started talking about like the drawing and stuff. And she asked me about the Procreate actually, and she'd be like, "How are you using it?" Because I was like trying to figure out like where to press because there's also like sensitivity like of you pressing on the iPad and stuff. And like, can you please suggest me or show me how to do it? I was like, by that time, I was trying to remember myself, like what I was doing, because I was using iPad for the first time too, like just a couple of years ago. And I guess just because when I started, um, I didn't learn anything like anywhere. I was just learning by myself. So I was trying, and then at some point, maybe because I have the basics of drawing, and it was easier. But this girl, she was also like she's making the neurographics thing, like like she's working with the mind and like put it on the paper and stuff. So and then I was even like following so many YouTube challenges, which is like I can check how they drawing, but I never done that. I followed them and I was watching them. And after that, I saw one girl. She was making arts from the photo, from the picture. So she was just like it's how to call that? Um, I don't know, like the same way you're making something in Photoshop, I guess, with the retouche, the whatever. So like she was making it like the basics from the picture, then the smoothing something and stuff, like adding something, your like the hair and stuff, and it was really cool. So this is the first course I actually got and start learning. Like before I was doing the illustrations, which is like was crazy. And back then I was streaming, if you know the platform on the Live Me.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was streaming there, and the people they'd be like, "Hey, you're drawing, why you don't you sell it?" I was like, "Where should I sell it?" Back then I was trying to get to the market. Yeah, I didn't know anything about that. And the people from the countries which is like Russian speaking countries, they don't like by a lot. They pay so less, they gotta just screw your mind, and they be like, you're not gonna be happy that you even take this job, but for real. So, and then they suggested me, the guys from the Live Me, they suggested me the Shridleys. So you're just like uploading your design, then they're printing it anywhere you want. And they just people they buy it and they pay commission from that. Sorry. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I was using it for a couple of months, but they charge a lot. Really, like if you're making, for example, you sell for $100, the money you get is just $11. I was like, for real. I know, like back then, I think like that's not fair. So I started checking more. Then I found the Shopify and stuff like this. But then I was like, okay, because as long as I'm not making the broadcasts, as I'm not live streaming, no one's buy it, because on my Instagram is just like I just started in it. I just started boosting it on the streaming, yes, but I don't have much time for that. So yeah, what I can suggest for the people who just starting, probably find some artist which is you like how they make art, probably, because like nowadays, if you're still maybe you don't know where to go, like on maybe like what style, because I also was doing the tattoos. I was a tattoo master. And back then I was like, okay, what's your style? I was like, I don't know. There are so many styles and you cannot figure out that like that easily. It's by experience. You're doing this, you like it, you don't like it. So the best advice, I guess, is just like watching YouTube, because there are so many information and probably like way a lot. So you have to be picky about that. And you gotta spend some time, or and by any chance, because nowadays like our phones and all these technologies are super smart. They gotta start to offer you something, okay, buy this, get this course and stuff. And yeah, just searching, looking for the course maybe you gotta like, and just get it.
Find what you know, find what works best for you.
Exactly. Because maybe something like works for me, but it's not gonna work for the people. So
And we are coming down to the end of the interview, and we have two fun questions. The first one
okay.
is, has there ever been a moment in your life where you've had a really awkward story where it was awkward, but in the end it was funny?
Um, well, I guess it was like there was no specific moment coming to my mind, but it feels like it was a lot of it. Well, actually, I have to think about that first, I guess.
Take your time.
It's always hard, like when people say like, okay, say the anecdote or something, some funny story, and you be like, your brain just stopped working. It's just hold on. it was awkward and then it was funny. But I can say like any awkward moments, even like not awkward, it's always funny at the end. Well, at least for me, because even like something bad happening, I will make a like, okay, I'm good. It's like it's just examining my patience and stuff. It's testing me. It's fine, and then like at the same like eventually it's just funny. Um. Oh gosh.
And for the last retro podcast question, did you have a favorite retro product growing up when you were a kid?
Retro product.
Mm-hmm. A product. It could be a toy, it could be a video game, board game, movie, TV show.
Well, back then, I guess
It could be a snack.
I guess our countries and the Western countries are different. And actually, it was funny because back then, I remember everyone was super obsessed with the Spanish TV series, which is like Santa Barbara, well, 1,000 series and stuff. And then I figure out that you guys on the West, you was like you were obsessed with some other the TV shows, which is like not Spain. And now I cannot remember. Maybe it was Asian, no? Like what's the super famous TV series it was back then?
Super. Well, here in the US, one of the TV shows that are still famous to this day and were famous back then was, well, there was Friends, the sitcom Friends, and we
Hmm.
have The Simpsons. I mean, that one's still going, and it's been going for what, almost 40 years, which is insane. And I'm trying to think, what else do we have? Um,
Well, like your parent generation, because our generations, yes, like it can be friends, it can be something, but the parents, when you were a little kid, you wasn't watching the TV series yet because like you just wanted to play and stuff. But back then I remember the parents, like my mom's or like so many people just be watching this series, like I don't know, like my grandma even maybe. So this kind of like TV series, I don't. I was trying to remember like what it was in the US, but
but SpongeBob, of course, just had its 25th anniversary, and that's been going on for 25 years.
wow, wow.
So ever since I was born, pretty much.
I wasn't expecting it was like 25 years. So like when I was 5, it came out. It's hell of a long time ago. But yeah, anyways, well, I really like video games. So back then it was you had Sega.
Mhm.
So yeah, I had Sega and I always wanted what was the second name? Something from D? Starts with the D?
Uh, I don't know any Sega games that begin with a D, but the only Sega game I am familiar with is Sonic. Sonic the
No, the PlayStation itself,
Oh,
like
yes.
the
There.
board
Mhm.
starts from the D, or what was the name?
Yeah. It's not ringing a bell. I'm sorry.
No,
I
it's
don't
okay.
have time to play video games. I'm sorry.
No, I was a kid, so yeah, like I really like that one. Then like retro thing. The other day I found out there is a girl which is keep the Kinder eggs for 30 years. She got some like I don't know some exclusive. Someone just collected them, and she was opening it. So the chocolate is just it's already bad. It's gone bad long time ago. So she opens it, and the Kinder it was the hippo, the blue
Mhm.
hippo. so it was 1992. These toys, the little toys, if you remember them, they
I
was
remember
like
those.
blue, and yeah, I was like, wow, people actually figure out, like they like, okay, we're gonna collect it and later we're gonna like sell it for how much money. Okay,
We can make a
that's
lot
really
with it
interesting.
years later.
So yeah,
Yeah. Well, Yuliya,
um,
oh, sorry.
yeah, no, it's okay, no problem.
Okay. Yuliya, thank you again for joining today's episode, and I wish you the best.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Spotify and follow us on Instagram. See you next week.